Hello, everybody. This is Ballin with Bill here. Bill Dannenhauer with Ballin with Bill, excuse me. I have two wonderful guests here today. I've known this young man to my right since he was a little guy. Known Dad for a long time. We coached together at Dana College. But I'd like to welcome the defensive coordinator at Westside High School, Justin Haberman, and his son, Cade Haberman.
Thanks for having us, Coach.
Thank you.
It's great to have you both here. Well, I'm going to start. I've known you since we coached at Dana, and I kind of just tell me about your football ground. I know a little bit, but tell the fans out there.
I had a great opportunity through high school. I had a two-way player out in California. I had a great career. Had a shoulder injury late in high school. Ended up at a junior college out there. Played really well. Probably should have paid better attention in the classroom. Ended up out here in Nebraska. Probably the best thing for me. I met my beautiful wife. Had a great football career.
Yes, you did.
I loved playing where I did, and had the opportunity to go on and play with the Omaha Beef.
That's right, you did that
And
too.
had a great year at the Omaha Beef, and tore my knee up at the end of that, and had the opportunity to coach at Dana with you, and had 3 great seasons coaching there. And then the little guy came along, the little guys came along, and
Yeah, you had two.
I
That's right, you had the
decided
second one.
I decided to move into the high school ranks for better pay and family medical, and I've been at Westside for 17 years now.
Yeah, I know. You started out with football and track program, both at Westside, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Currently the head track coach now. And
When did you take over the head track coach? I didn't realize.
Just recently.
Oh, wow. Well,
about 2 months
congratulations,
ago.
Coach.
Thank you.
That's super. I know you know, being from Westside myself, live and die Westside High, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's been around a long time. But anyway, I was awful proud when you got that because it meant a lot to me, and I know what a good job you've done out there. So tell me about your career at Westside and everything, and then we'll kind of go with your coaching philosophies and all that stuff.
Definitely. I've been blessed to be around some great head coaches. I came on under Marty Kaufman.
Marty's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, Marty was a tremendous head coach, and when I was hired, he offered me a volunteer spot on varsity or a paid freshman coach, and I'm not afraid to work, so I joined the freshman ranks, and I was down there for 2 years, and he moved me up quickly, and I was on the JV coaching staff for a year, and then he promoted me again to the varsity running back coach and outside linebacker coach, and started coaching. And I'll tell you, I thought you come in from the college ranks and you think you know everything, and I was blessed at the time to work with the defensive coordinator as Brett Freund, which is now our head coach.
Right.
And I just learned so much more, and he got me out of certain ways of thinking and kind of showed me different lights of the game and made me more, best way to put it, more analytical than I was. And it made me a better coach. And when you introduced me as the D coordinator, I will tell you, I'm the co-defensive coordinator with Brett, but I will tell you our defense is co-coordinated with our whole entire defensive staff. That's one thing I really learned is we use all of our coaches. I think we have a tremendous young coach in Jack Sortino, a former Hastings linebacker, a former Westside grad himself, a great young mind of the game. Then we have Tyler Zahn, former Ralston head coach.
I know Tyler real well. How long has he been with you guys?
This is his 3rd year, and I will
I
tell
remember
you.
when he was the head coach at Ralston for a long time.
Yes, and I will tell you, Coach Freund has done a tremendous job of surrounding himself with great staff. We have Wade Halverson that just came on this year that's helping out with the safeties this year, former Kearney defensive coordinator that coached at Concordia College here in Nebraska.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, and so then we have Michael Jernigan, the head wrestling coach, another Westside
Michael.
grad that's our outside backer coach. So our defensive staff is just, I feel, a tremendous group with a lot of knowledge of the game, and we kind of coordinate the game together. We come together on Saturday mornings and all day Sunday and communicate with each other, and we find the best way to try to stop these teams.
You've done a good job so far. You've been on a roll here. Stopping people for being impressive. So,
Well, I'll tell you.
What is your philosophy on defense, and how do you take your passes? I look at you, because you've been under different coaches and what you've done, and how do you take all that and mold together to be the type of coach you are?
Well, it isn't about what we do; it's the athletes. I mean, we're blessed at Westside to have some tremendous athletes. You don't have 2 Division I defensive backs in the secondary in high school very often.
Right.
With Colby Bretz and Avante, I'm pretty sure I could pick up somebody on the side of the road, and that guy looked great with those two tremendous young men. Then you got guys like Cade up front, Division I, defensive lineman. So we have the athleticism on the team, and it goes on to Will Hurtado, the other defensive lineman, Ben Radisha, our middle linebacker. We just got some tremendous players. But when it goes to philosophy, we do our best to assess what the offense is doing and find a way to stop it, within our packages. And it's beneficial to us. And we put a game plan together, and I will tell you the kids put it into effect and go to work with it. And it's nice having really smart players that do what's asked of them.
Yeah. Now you don't, I've been, because college you can always recruit your kids, like you recruit
Yes.
athletes and stuff like that. High school you got to take what you get molded. So
Yes, sir.
I mean, this year you really have got some talent, but you've had them last couple of years, and they've kind of been filled up since your sophomore, since he was a sophomore.
Yes.
And became a very good, an outstanding defensive team. But okay, how do you fit the kids in every year? I mean, because always blessed with. I've seen you guys do a nice job on defense, not having the hosses that you have this year, and still stopping people. So, kind of, what do you guys do philosophy wise that changes kids and your personnel around to fit your scheme?
It's one of the things that we don't make them fit our scheme. We adapt our scheme to fit them.
Okay.
And that's what we really do is we adapt kids. We have kids that have grown up their whole lives maybe playing outside linebacker. Mm-hmm. And we move them out to corner, because that's where they fit our team and how everything works. I'll tell you, we've done a great job of adapting our philosophy to work with the kids we have. And I'm going to say it from the beginning is what starts us all off is from young to old. We get buy-in from the kids to believe in what we're doing and what we're saying. And it starts in the weight room, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
We were together, Danny. You're a big weight room guy,
Yeah.
just like I was.
I love the weight room, and I think, in my opinion, there's a lot of tremendous strength and conditioning coaches, but we have one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the state and in the country, in Craig Sikora. Yeah, he's always innovative, and he's making those kids, get bigger, faster, and stronger, and he has the science behind it. It isn't just something he made up; it's the science. He's constantly learning. He's going to clinics and camps, and it starts there, and we just start building off of that, and then finding ways to adapt our schemes and our philosophy to meet our kids.
Okay, because I watch you with different kids and adapt them to fit into your scheme and do an outstanding job and not have the hosses that you always have, but you still play very well, very good defense.
Well,
adapting the scheme and mixing it up and doing, you and Brett doing some different things.
Definitely.
So
and it comes down to, and with us coaches, it's the nice part is you have 4 guys in there debating, and we have difference of philosophies.
Oh, I'm sure, because I've known Brett, and when I coached you, Danny, you were always a guy like to blitz people and get after people and change things up. So.
Yep, and I love that.
And Brett's a little more conservative than
he was, and I'll tell you, nowadays as we get farther in, it's sometimes I catch ourselves go, we don't got to blitz here, coach, but
right, it switches
that's the
up.
fun part. It does, and it's. As a linebacker, as a former linebacker and linebacker coach, I wanted to blitz all the time.
I know you did.
But now that I'm the secondary coach, I'm the corners coach, I'm like, we don't need to blitz all the time.
You don't want to leave on an island, right?
No, we're good. But, the nice part is this year we have the hosses that I can do that. I feel that I get a lock of Vontae on anybody's number 1 and it would be okay. So, okay. But it's all about fitting your players into the mold, or fitting your philosophy to your players,
right,
and what you have, and just making it work that way.
Gotcha. So, I agree. I think and I've seen you guys do it and do it with a lot of success. Well, Cade, question for you now. You grew up as a coach's son. I grew up as a coach's son, so I understand that. My dad was a coach, college and high school too, like your father was. And so, what it was like for you growing up as a coach's son?
Yeah, I was lucky enough that. My dad, not only was like a coach's son, he also coached me and everything. So, even we'd be playing Pee Wee baseball, and there'd be like an expectation that you'd have to hit. And not in a bad way by any means, but he'd expect more out of you. And sometimes, if the whole team was going down, he would turn to you to be like, "Hey, it's time for you to pick this up," because it was easy communication right there. And
It's always easier to yell at your own kid, right, Bill? It's always easier to yell at your own kid.
It always can make those rides home after the game a little interesting sometimes.
Exactly.
If they don't go like you planned.
no, I'm lucky that my dad's really good at knowing when he's a coach and knowing when he's a dad.
That's good.
He always has the rule. No matter what happened in the game, we don't talk about it in the car.
That's a good rule.
Yeah, and so I've had some great games where we high five and go get some ice cream. I had some bad games where it's just silence all the way home.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but watching him, this dude watches more film than anyone I've ever sthink just this past, he was looking at film numbers for the team, and he was already at I think like 7 hours of film just in 2 days, getting ready for Grand Island. So there's always like a preparation aspect too. You get to see he's up late nights. You hear him. He's always, every time he's watching film, there's always music going. So you kind of know. Don't go into the office. Dad's watching film. Or when I would grow up, sometimes he would let me come in and draw play cards with him. I'm sure I wasn't much of a help, but he was still patient enough to give me every question I had about what is that receiver doing? Why is that lineman doing that? And looking back, it was a pretty awesome time.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you too, Bill and Cade doesn't give himself enough credit. He's a student of the game.
Good.
And he's one of those guys.
Those are hard to find sometimes.
Yes, he wants to know what's going on. Before we started the interview, he was telling you he loves learning about the game and this and that. He would sit in there and he'd ask questions, and I'd be like, wow, that's impressive that at your age you're asking these questions. The cool part is still at this age, being a senior getting ready to go off to college, play major college football. He's coming in, hey, Dad, did you notice this? Oh, yeah, sure I did, son. Oh, wow, I better look at that,
Good catch, good
yes,
tell.
Yeah, exactly. So it's neat to see him have the love of for the game, that I have.
Right. Well, I know he's a very good wrestler, too. I've watched him. I remember watching him wrestling as a kid, and then you finished second in the state last year, right?
Yeah.
That kid, now, where'd he go? Because he's a heck of a wrestler.
NC State.
That's right.
Wrestle. That's one of the best wrestling programs in the nation.
I know he's a heck of a heavyweight.
Yeah, that Millard South team's really good, and they were trying to get optimal team points, and can't blame him. He was wrestling for his he was wrestling for his team. Can't say I wouldn't do the same thing.
Right.
He was a buzzsaw. He was tough. He's good. So now 2 years in a row now, runner up. Kind of hurts.
Who beat you your sophomore? I'm trying to remember.
Connor Cowling.
Oh,
that's right.
Out of Norfolk. That kid.
That's right.
So I only had 4 losses going into my sophomore year finals, and that kid was Jack Hawes. He was at prep. I could never beat him, but it just happened when they seeded out state. Jack Hawes ended up on Connor Cowling's side, so I ended up going to the state finals, and Connor beat Jack, and I think it was like an overtime match in the semifinals, and Connor kind of got me right out of the gate. They're both great wrestlers. Connor Cowling's actually playing football right now at Morningside.
Is he at Morningside?
Yep, he's at Morningside.
Does he
right now.
wrestle too, or just do football?
I think he's just playing football.
Just playing football?
Yeah, but both of those dudes, they're studs, and I'm hoping I can get one this year.
Let's hope you do too. I hope you get that this year. Now I know the kid you wrestled for North Carolina State was. I mean, did he even lose a match in his?
No, he did not lose.
No.
In his 3-year career, in his 3 years.
He lost a couple. He lost the state championship his junior year and lost it his sophomore year.
So but he was winning all the way.
Yes, he's a nationally ranked wrestler.
Very good at freestyle.
Tremendous young man.
I think he's a Fargo champ.
He is a Fargo champ, and I will tell you, I met him this summer. And he is one of the politest young men. Had nothing but great things to say about our program.
North Carolina State's very good at wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the most awkward things about state wrestling is so the finals match just happens, and then it's TV, so it's a whole production, and so the 106ers wrestle, and right after the 106s, so heavyweight will wrestle. you have just a 106 match to cool down and cool off, and then you have to go sit right next to your opponent that you either just beat or you just lost to.
Yeah.
To go get your medal on the stadium on
That's
the
right.
podium. So, he was a super cool guy. From the little I got to talk to him there. So, yeah.
Good deal. Okay, I know you've had a lot of success, and I wish you luck this year.
Thank you.
And for the Westside alumni, we want you to do really well this year in football too. We'd like to see a state championship come back to
Yes.
Yeah.
Warrior Land. So, tell me about the season so far, because I know you and Bellevue West are kind of right neck and neck, and that
Yes.
you guys were in the finals last year too.
Yes, sir.
Of the Class A. So, kind of tell me a little bit about the season. So, because you beat you whooped Prep, which is they're our number one rivalry for the history
Yeah.
ever since I played.
And I'll tell you, Prep's a good team.
Yeah,
And you
Coach
know,
Yonk does a nice job.
Coach Yonk is a tremendous coach, and it has a tremendous coaching staff and some players. And that's a game that our kids get up for all year long. I'll never forget
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Early in my career, I had a Westside alumni come up to me and about your age, and and he said, "Hey, Coach, there's one thing that you have to know." And I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "It's a great season when you beat Prep.
That's right. That's right.
It's a great season when you go 9-1, but it's really a bad season if that one loss is to Prep."
That's right. He's right.
So I learned real quick that that's our game, and I'll tell you, Cade will be one of the guys to tell you he's super proud that in his high school career he's 4-1 versus Prep.
That's good.
His only loss is his freshman year. He's never lost to Prep since his freshman year.
That's good. Good job.
Thank you.
You don't
Thank
like
you.
those prepsters.
Yeah,
But-
a little shout out to our quarterback too, Cole Payton. He's the first Westside quarterback to ever go 4-0 against Prep, and
Oh, so he's been starting for you as a freshman?
Well, no, he
No.
didn't, but we played him twice one year.
That's
so,
right. That's
yeah.
right. You did. That's right.
So that's how he's 4-1, and Cole's 4-0 versus Prep on the
Okay.
varsity level.
So this quarterback started for you guys that long too?
I'll tell you, this quarterback, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. Cole Payton is the real deal.
Does he have any looks? Or what?
He is 100% committed to North Dakota State.
So he's going up there.
He loves North Dakota State. There's been other schools that have contacted him, and he's
nice
told them
staff up
no,
there.
thank you. Cole Payton, I am telling you, is a student of the game. He's a physical specimen at 6'4", 215, just chiseled, weight room nut. Just a tremendous quarterback. With the quarterback intelligence this young man has is just second to none. He'll sit back and he'll tell you where every position is going, O-line, D-line, running backs, receivers. Just a tremendous player. But he commands our offense. And then we have some of the same dogs that are doing offense, doing defense, doing offense, and he knows how to distribute that ball and get it
That's
where
the
it
key
needs
with
to go.
offense.
Cole,
Yeah.
Cole's also a Division I baseball player too.
A tremendous baseball player.
The-
with a lot of
the-
offers
the
there.
Yankees-
But he's going to
Yankees-
stick strictly football then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Yankees came in and scouted him this summer. So
Yeah, tremendous player. But going back to what you asked me about the season.
Yeah, I mean, because you're on 4-0 right now, so I
Yep.
mean, you guys have been playing really well.
Coach Yonk, did a tremendous job, and our boys were ready to go for that game, and we did what we had to do. And then we had a bye week. Because of OPS sitting out, we had a week off,
Okay.
and we decided to pick up Kearney.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, Kearney is a team that
They're good. That coach does a nice job
he
there.
does a tremendous job. And I will tell you, since I've been on the staff, we've never won out at Kearney. And so we knew we had a good team, and we had to go out there, and we knew they had a good team, and they had some tremendous players, and our boys came to work and took care of business. And then we rolled back home versus Papio.
Which Tim's done a nice job there.
Tim is doing a real nice job there. And then our former line coach, that was our line coach at Westside for years, Sean Blevins, is their
Okay.
line coach now.
He went over there.
Yep, he went over there about 5 years ago now. And so that's always a little bit of a rivalry. He has a tremendous, he's doing a really nice job. He has some big linemen up front. His son's a 6'5", 270, guy. But they're doing a tremendous job there. Talking to some of their coaches after the game, they had a quarterback that, ended up leaving the program, decided to concentrate on basketball. And the young man that stepped in did a nice job. And
Well, good.
and he distributed the ball and moved it around a little bit. And then we went out to Papio South, and They have a nice scheme out there, and they have some good players, and they have a really good wide receiver, and they went to work, and they move the ball on us a little more than I would like as a defensive coach.
I think they've scored the most points on you so far.
They have,
Yeah.
they have, and they did a really nice job, and they have a very talented team, and I think that you're going to see some good stuff out of them coming in, throughout the season, and now we have Grand Island, and I'll tell you, I think
What do they look like on film?
they're tremendous. In my opinion, they're not the biggest up front. They have some big boys in the middle. Their tackles are a little smaller, but they work so well together. They move in their zone blocking like you wouldn't believe. And then I'll tell you, I think they have the most talented group of wide receivers I've seen all year long, and a quarterback that distributes the ball to these young men and puts it in the right spot at the right time, and a couple running backs that run really, really hard. But as a core, I'll tell you, I know Bellevue West has a tremendous.
How many teams?
staff.
Now, you return a lot of kids. Are they returning a lot to after their state championship?
Yes,
team?
they are. Yep. And then they found some young kids in the rough that have really shown up for them.
Okay.
So Bellevue West is a talented team. So by no means am I saying is anybody better than the other. But this Grand Island receiving core is a very, very potent wide receiver core.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they are talented. So we'll see. I always love being the defensive back coach, or the corners coach, and I look for this challenge. These are the games I want. I want them to try to throw the ball on us and see what we can do. That's to me, that's a challenge for me and my guys. So
Right.
we'll let the big hosses put the pressure on them and see what they can do.
How's their offensive line look, Cade?
They're good. They're really technical. They know what they're doing. They're quick at what they're doing. They're really good at their technique. They're physical. Definitely will be one of our best tests yet.
Okay.
I personally, I think we have the best D line in the state. I know Coach Freund doesn't like me saying that.
They probably don't want no wall material on the wall.
Yeah, but Will Hurtado and T.J. Ingram, Bo Lucas, Ryan Zaska, Jack James, Matthew Trimble. It's our whole rotation that we have in there. We're a bunch of dogs, and we come to work every day. And I really like I really love this D line group, and no one else I'd rather play next to. But this will be a challenge for us this week. They're good, and we're preparing for a really good physical team.
Yeah. Plus, you got to make that trip out there too. That's always fun. You got to travel on the road that far.
Yeah, when we're traveling that
you got
far,
the referees out there too. You got to worry about a little bit too.
Well, that and with the whole COVID thing, they're not letting any visitor fans in the stadium, so we're
really?
going out there by ourselves. We're going out there
None at
solo.
all, huh?
No parents, no fans, no cheerleaders, nothing. Just the team gets to roll in, so it's going to be interesting.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, it will be without no fans there or nothing like that because they'll have their fans, right?
They get all their parents and 100 seniors, I guess, are allowed in. So it's to us, it's just
So no travel buses down there or nothing.
no travel buses, nothing. I guess in weeks past they've had fans that sit on the outskirts of the fences. We've been told by their administration that they'll hire extra security to make sure no fans sit on the edge of the fences, and
They're gonna lock you in, man.
hey, you know what? That's okay. It's we talk about it all the time. It's us versus everybody else, and we just got to go out there and do our jobs.
That's right.
We don't need. We love our fans. Our fans are huge to us, but we got to step on the
You
field
got a
and
good
do our
following on
job.
the Westside. You always
Yeah.
have. They always got a good crowd, sir.
We
A
got
good
to.
stadium.
There's one of our mottos on the wrestling team is burn the boats. We're going out there. We got to do what we got to do, right?
My old saying, the horse might be blind, but slow the wagon, baby.
Yep.
Were you gonna say something, Cade?
Oh yeah, I personally think that Phelps Phelps Field is the best stadium in the state. Like it's hands down. What our boosters do for that stadium, and how well our maintenance crew keeps it up, and how the program treats it with such respect, and how every other team that uses it treats it with such respect. And then seeing like when when we had like the vandalized when Prep painted the rock and all that stuff, and came and sprayed over now we have a new tradition called the senior sleepover, and the night before the Prep game everyone sleeps on the field to protect the field.
That's interesting.
Even with COVID-19 out and about, that couldn't kill that tradition. And just the Westside community and how much they love. I think Phelps is really a beacon to the Westside community. Like, this is us. We're different. We're not OPS. We're not Millard. We're not any of those schools. We're Westside.
Okay.
And Coach Dan Hauer, is you being a Westside alum, I can't wait for you to come back and see the new stuff that's happening at Westside. You're gonna be very impressed.
Tell what's going on.
Mr. Terry Hanna.
I know Terry very well. Yeah.
He's a tremendous man. He raised a bunch of money, and when you walk in the sports mall hallway now, it's completely redone. We have on the upper level, they built a floor on, and they put a state-of-the-art golf simulator, golf putting greens
for your team and stuff?
for our golf team.
Oh wow.
But then down below, they completely painted it all black and white graphics, protect the shield, and our big school crest with the 1952 up there, the year that it opened, and then they put lights in it and painted all the walls red and black, and they're gonna have strobe lights.
I'll have to get out and
So
see
when
that.
we go out down the
I
hallway,
haven't
it's
been
just
out
like
there
a
since they
tunnel
did the
walk.
Lou Maloney thing, but his thing.
Yes, yeah, and that's right there, just a tremendous. That's what I love being a part of Westside staff. The legendary coaches that have been there, Coach Maloney, Coach Hall, Coach Morrissey, Coach Kaufman. I could go, Don Gilpin.
Right.
The
Famous
list
swim
goes-
coach too that was there a long time.
Mr. Krecklow. Guys won more state championships than anybody in the state. But it's an honor for me to be a part of that
You've done a good job.
and that tradition. I love, I tell people all the time, I bleed red and black. I've had opportunities to go different places and do
I
different
know
things,
you have.
but
You've been there a long time.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love Westside. So.
Well, tell me about what do you think this year? Do you feel good about it? Are you staying healthy? All those things like that.
I will tell you, it's one of those things that we keep reminding the kids. COVID-19's out there. It's for real. We respect the rules. As you can see, we're wearing masks. It's one of those things where we're around other people. The proof is out there that if you wear a mask, you can protect yourself.
Right.
Just never know. When we came in here, being a father-son, and Cade goes, "Hey, Dad, grab your mask because we're supposed to wear a mask when we're out in public." and he reminds me, and that's what's important as the kids know is,
Yep.
hey, we're wearing these masks and we're doing it so they can have a season.
Yep.
It's one of those things that if let's just say you came back and said, "Oh man, sorry coach, I didn't know I had COVID." Well, they've said if we wore a mask, that we're going to be good, and so we won't have any issues.
Yep.
And so we're trying to get through the whole COVID thing. And now but trials and tribulations, I'll tell you, Coach Dan Hauer, I coached with you for 4 seasons at Dana, and it's one of those things that I know the way you coach, and you know the way I coach, and constantly yelling at kids to pull their mask up, or the part that I dislike about it all is we have to social distance.
Right.
And that
That's
means going
hard
in the
public.
locker room.
Yeah.
Well, where's all the team bonding happen?
Yeah.
In the locker room, hanging out with the guys, So we're, the team chemistry is weird this year, just for the simple fact that we can't.
You can't bond like you normally do.
Yeah, you can't be in the locker rooms hanging out. You can't be going to each other's houses and hanging out. So the team chemistry, and the kids are doing really good at finding ways, but doing it the right way by wearing masks and being around each other. And very impressed with how they've handled it. I'll tell you. I think our administration, by the way, being a Westside alum,
He did a nice job. Your
with
superintendent.
our superintendent, Mike Lucas, he came over 2 years ago from York. I think he is the best superintendent in the business.
Plus, he's got an athletic background.
He does. A tremendous college football player out of Benedictine, gets sports. But I'll tell you the most impressive thing is he's everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's academic or sports or show choir or DECA or elementary stuff or middle school. The guy is everywhere, and he loves Westside. So he does a tremendous job, and he's laid the path for us. And Coach Freund has done all the things to keep us healthy. And then
No injuries then so far.
so far we've been healthy.
Good. That's good.
We've been healthy, but I'm gonna throw that back to Coach Dan Hauer. Is back in the summer when we weren't able to do nothing. Back in May when we couldn't. Coach Shakur, our strength coach, and we have a sports psychologist on our staff, Coach Morbeck. we built virtual teams where they met online and we sent them at home workouts they could do where they load weights up in their backpacks, and we had kids working at home and earning points and fun.
That was an interesting time because they couldn't be in the weight room with you.
They couldn't be with us, and we couldn't do anything organized, so the seniors led it. The seniors did it all. And, started building that team chemistry, and they're meeting on Zoom calls, and they're talking, and they're checking in with each other. And so I give a lot of the credit of staying healthy during this season, from working out all the way May, June, July.
Oh, yeah. It's a big key.
And never slowing down.
And something I like to add to that, a big part of like Westside and all success is the culture that is at Westside. And a big help to that culture, Coach Freund lets the players get on the culture. So we have we call it a culture committee. Every year they meet and revamp our culture so that way it applies to this year's team. And one person that always helps us with it is DJ Rezak. He's a former Westside alum. His 3 sons are now playing football at the high school. And his
one
daughter,
which is our star tailback, Dom.
Okay.
yeah,
Dom
the leading rusher in the state. And then his daughter is cheering at the high school, and then he has a younger one that is coming up soon. And but DJ Rezak comes in and helps us with our culture. And one thing that he always says, doesn't matter, get better. So this summer we really hit that really hard with COVID-19 happening. Don't use it as an excuse. It doesn't matter, get better. We use the analogy of no BCEs, no blaming, complaining, or excuses. We use it all the time. So when this COVID-19 hit, it was really easy for we talk about being uncommon a lot. Uncommon. Coach Freund would say the common kid will just, well, this sucks. Our football season's screwed. We're never going to be able to do any of this that we love and we want to do. Coach Freund and DJ Rezak really hit it hard with be uncommon. Doesn't matter, get better. Prepare if there is a season. No BCEs this year or this summer. And our tagline for the team is get one. Get the next rep. Get the next set. Get the next tackle. Make the next play. Get one. And all summer long we were come on, get one. Doesn't matter, get better. All the stuff that really makes like this Westside culture, this Westside football team special.
And that goes back to when having to wear the mask, having to work out. Working out in the mask, at first everybody's like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, because you're breathing your CO2s.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about it.
And I'll tell you, we have tremendous people around us. Dr. Rob Zadiska, his boy plays for us. We talk to Rob, hey, how about the CO2 issues? And, that's really not a big issue because the masks aren't tight enough. We went into all that scientific stuff, but you heard the boys over and over. No BCs, no blame, complain, excuse. This is an excuse. Don't use this as an excuse. And
now the players don't wear them during the game, right?
well, so you'll notice if you watch us on film, you'll see some players, especially some of our guys, they have them up early in the game, and they do. And as the game gets going on, but if you watch us on the sideline, every guy standing on the sideline has a mask on.
Okay.
But
it's hard when you're getting the breathing. It's important that you get those masks so you can get the full air in. When you're going, especially if you want to recover.
Yeah, and especially you got those guys going both ways.
Right.
But I will tell you, you don't ever hear any complaining about our kids. We had a rough practice tonight before we came out here, and we did a bunch of conditioning at the end. And we left our practice field, went right up to the varsity game field because our freshmen were playing. And we walk out there and we have 65 varsity JV, maybe 85 varsity JV guys sitting there. And every single one of them had their mask pulled up, sitting there watching the game, cheering their teammates on, giving 6. You hear us all the time, give 6, give 6. That's 6 feet from the guy next to you, Put yourself in the best situation to have a season. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I appreciate all the advice, and I'm glad you two had the time to come out here today from your busy schedule. And Coach knows I'm an ex-pro wrestler, so we got to finish with the hush because Coach knows that hush means I need my money or food, not necessarily in that order. It's my old wrestling gimmick. Pro wrestling, I amateur wrestle too, but anyway. it's a pleasure having you two here today. It really was. It's good to see you, and I wish you guys luck the rest. I hope you're in the state championship in Lincoln, and they'll let fans in so we can come watch you.
Yes, sir.
But and just keep up the good work. Stay healthy is the main thing.
Yes, sir.
Because it's still a long run to go yet.
Well,
you get that, and you got the playoffs and all that stuff still yet.
Well, I appreciate you and Sideline Power for having us out. I know you guys do a tremendous job, and I'll tell all you people that are out there watching this, if you need something, get a hold of Sideline Power. They do a tremendous job, and Coach Dan Hauer will always take care of you. He's never let us down.
Well, I appreciate that. You ready, men?
We're ready.
Ready.
Just film it here on 3. You put your hand up here. Hush! Hush! Come on, you two. Hush! 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 That's it. I knew Haubermann could do it.